Have you ever met someone who seemed perfectly normal on the outside? Someone who smiled, someone who was polite, someone you might even call sweet, but then, slowly, you start to see something else. A flicker in their eyes, a change in their tone. You begin to wonder what secrets are hiding just beneath that calm surface. This is the mystery of Annie Wilkes. She introduces herself as Paul Sheldon's #1 fan, a simple nurse living a quiet life, behind her cheerful, folksy sayings and her love for romance novels. There is a darkness so profound, so chilling, that it stays with you long after the story ends. What creates a person like Annie? That is the question we must explore together. We first see Annie as a savior, a guardian angel emerging from a blinding snowstorm. She pulls Paul Sheldon from the wreckage of his car. She brings him to her remote home. She sets his shattered legs and tends his wounds with a practiced, gentle hand. Her home is tidy, almost obsessively so. Everything has its place. She speaks with such earnestness, eyes wide with adoration for the man whose books have been her only companions. To truly understand Annie Wilkes, we have to look at the life she lived long before Paul Sheldon's car crashed on that snowy road. Her existence was one of profound and crushing isolation. Living in a remote farmhouse in Silver Creek, Colorado, she was cut off from the world, physically, emotionally. Her days were governed by strict routines, a way to impose order on a life that felt empty and chaotic. Imagine the silence of that house, broken only by the turning of a page or the whisper of the wind. This wasn't a life of peaceful solitude, it was a prison of loneliness, where the walls were built by her own inability to connect in a healthy, meaningful way. Her past as a nurse offers us a chilling look into her history. We learn through Paul's discoveries that Annie's career was marked by a trail of mysterious deaths. She moved from hospital to hospital, leaving a wake of tragedy behind her. The Misery book series was not just a collection of stories for Annie Wilkes, it was the very center of her universe. The Misery book series was not just a collection of stories for Annie Wilkes, it was the very center of her universe. For most of us, books are a wonderful escape, a way to experience new worlds and emotions. But for Annie, that line between fiction and reality had completely dissolved. The protagonist, Misery Chastain, was not a character on a page. She was a dear friend, a confidant, the embodiment of everything pure and good in a world that had only ever shown Annie its cruelty. She lived through Misery's adventures, felt her triumphs, and wept for her sorrows. This deep personal investment in the story is what made Paul Sheldon's decision to kill off the character so catastrophic for Annie. It wasn't just the end of a book series for her, it was a personal betrayal of the highest order. It was as if Paul had reached into her life and murdered her closest friend. In her mind, he had destroyed the one perfect thing in her world, the only source of comfort she had ever known. This act of creative freedom was, to Annie, an act of profound violence. Her rage wasn't just about a plot point she disliked. It was a primal scream of grief and anger from a woman whose entire emotional world had just been shattered to pieces. Her obsession then shifts from loving the creator to controlling him. She forces Paul to burn his new manuscript, the one filled with the profanity and grit she despises. It is a symbolic act of purification. Then comes her ultimate demand. He must bring Misery back to life. He must write a new book, Misery's Return, just for her. This is where her fantasy completely takes over. The truly terrifying thing about Annie Wilkes is her duality. She is capable of both profound tenderness and unspeakable cruelty. She can switch between these extremes in the blink of an eye. We see her caring side. She meticulously resets Paul's broken legs. She spoons soup into his mouth with the gentle patience of a loving mother. She speaks words of encouragement, telling him he is a brilliant writer, a genius whose work has brought her joy. In these moments, you almost forget the bars on the window and the lock on the door. You see a lonely woman who craves connection. She wants to be a caregiver. She wants to be a protector of something precious. But this angel of mercy has a shadow. The monster emerges whenever her world is threatened. When she discovers Paul tried to escape, her betrayal is absolute. The gentle nurse vanishes, replaced by a cold, calculating torturer. The infamous hobbling scene is the ultimate expression of this change. Her actions are a terrifying example of what can happen when fandom crosses the line from admiration into a dangerous, all-consuming ownership. She didn't just love Misery, she believed Misery belonged to her. This story is more than just a scary movie. It is a profound and cautionary tale about the human condition. It holds up a mirror to some of the darkest corners of our own hearts. It forces us to ask ourselves about the nature of obsession. In our modern world, We see fandom everywhere. We love our favorite shows. We love our favorite artists. But Annie's story shows us the terrifying line where healthy admiration becomes a dangerous, all-consuming fire. Her passion can become our prison. It teaches us that when we allow something outside of ourselves to define our entire existence, we lose a piece of our own humanity. Our passion can become our prison. Her character is also a heartbreaking exploration of the devastating effects of loneliness. Annie's isolation was so complete that she had to invent a world to survive in. The characters in her books became her family and friends because she had none in real life. This story is a powerful reminder of our fundamental human need for connection. When that need is not met, when a person feels completely cut off from the world, their mind can go to dark and desperate places. Annie's violence and cruelty are born from this deep, aching void inside of her. And that is a lesson that is both deeply unsettling and incredibly important.